Okay, 8th graders. So I know that this assignment, even though we've done something similar to this, might look a little bit different than what you're used to. So I just wanted to show you my example. It's not all the way done. If you choose to do an outline, I do want you to finish it. But it's going to start with audience. So again, you do not have to do this assignment if you are not going to do an outline. If you're going to write your essay, don't worry about this. Close this video. Okay, so I started out with my audience. So the people I think that this is going to impact are parents, teens, and lawmakers. So that is who I'm trying to appeal to. So I'm not going to be talking as if I were just like texting my friends or talking to my friends. I want kind of a more formal tone. My hook. So with hooks, if you are confused about hooks, it's a separate source. I would look at the hook slideshow. I know you learned hooks in 7th grade and we've talked about them, but it says getting a driver's license comes with freedom to pick what music pumps through the speakers, freedom to leave whenever instead of waiting for a ride, freedom to go places faster and farther away. But does this freedom come with a price? So then I am giving a little bit of background information because while this may be very knowable to everybody else, other people might not know this. So across the country, I would probably change this. So I am actually going to change this to across the, oh, it doesn't let me. I'm going to change it on my, oh, yes, it does. So across the United States, because if I say across the country, that is going to cut some of my audience out. So across the United States, comma, most states follow the rule that teens get their license when they are 16. And I did research on that. Newswheel.com told me that's true for all but 5 states. Some states you get your license at 17, some states at 15, but I have a parenthetical citation. I just have the website because it didn't really have a clear title. If you are confused about what to cite, that is a separate video as well. Okay, some states, however, want to make this rite of passage happen even younger. Is this a good idea? So if I just jumped in with no background information, my readers might not know what I am talking about. So that is why I'm just giving a little bit of context. What are the rules? If you said like, oh, schools should only be 4 days a week, then you should probably explain that schools have been 5 days a week for a lot of time and explain some of the reasons why. Notice that's not a very long part of this. It's just a few sentences, but it is important to have. So then my claim, the driving age should not be lowered because ... because I'm going to have my reasons after that. If you want to just say the driving age should not be lowered, period, and then say one reason why, another reason why, the last reason why, that works too. You do you. Live your best life. Okay, so the driving age should not be lowered because, and then I list my 3 reasons. So inexperience can be dangerous or fatal. Fatal means death. It can kill you. 2, throwback to Phineas Gage times, what you learned last year. Prefrontal cortex maturity is happening at a later and later age. And 3, 16 is an arbitrary number. Arbitrary just means like we picked 16 and that's what we went with. All right, so I have a transition word or phrase. I went with to begin with. You could say to start. You could say first. You can say anything like that. Starting it off, kicking things off, anything in that realm. And then I restate my reason. So sometimes I know one thing that I struggled with when I started writing argument writing was I felt like I was constantly repeating myself. However, you want to be very clear. You want to take your reader by the hand, or Finn in this case, and say, come with me, let me tell you what to think, what to feel. All right, so according to the CDC, I know a lot of you are familiar with what the CDC is. I still introduce my source. The first time I met you, I said, I'm Miss Jensen, I'm your English teacher. So introduce your source. It doesn't need to be a lot. So according to the CDC, a government organization designed to keep people safe, they state, and since this is a continuation of an earlier sentence, I don't know why the lag is so incredible on that. I am going to make that lowercase. They state that 40% of teen deaths are caused by accidental injury. Not a question. What causes those injuries? Car accidents, 73% of the time. If I just left that, that's a great fact, cool, but I'm not really proving my point. And that is what elaboration is about. Elaboration is where I explain more. So, car crashes have a much higher risk of death than any other cause. The next highest cause of death percentage is 17%. Fun fact, that's just like random things that could happen. It's just kind of like incidental. And then the next highest is 13. But I don't include that here because I don't want to lose focus. So while driving may be fun, this is counterclaim, it can also be deadly to teens. So I have my counterclaim and rebuttal in my first reason. Your counterclaim can go anywhere it wants, anywhere you think somebody's going to bring it up, and then you refute it with your rebuttal. So you prove it wrong with your rebuttal. Please do not say, they're stupid and they're wrong. Here's why. All right. And then I continue on with my evidence because I felt like I had another piece of evidence that matched this and I didn't want it to be its own reason. Please note, it says that is optional right here. So optional. Okay, the CDC explains one of the main reasons that driving is so risky for teens is the lack of experience. Some states may require, so I'm going to speak to that. So some states may require that at least 50 hours of driving practice before they allow teens to get a permit or a license. 50 hours, a lot, still not a ton. Some states require none. It's true. And I cite where I got that information. That is a parenthetical citation. This matters because of the old saying, practice makes perfect. If teens are hitting the road in a 4,000-ton piece of machinery with virtually no practice, it is no wonder that injuries and sometimes death might follow. 50 hours is not a lot of time, and to expect somebody to be really good at it is kind of crazy. So then, like I told you, this is not completed. I would carry on and I would keep doing what I'm doing. If you are confused about how elaboration works or evidence works, I would highly recommend looking at the evidence stems or the elaboration stems that are posted as well. So that is how you do this online scaffolded argument. I do want to say at the very, very bottom, very bottom, it talks about your counterclaim, evidence against counterclaim, which is your rebuttal, and elaboration for rebuttal. Show your placement with a star. So you can just highlight that or just like put a little star. So if I wanted to put it here, I would just add a little star right there. Okay, that is how you do this assignment. If you want to do this assignment instead of write an essay, if you want to write an essay, that works too. You choose your own adventure. Okay, good luck. Let me know if you have questions. Pause button has disappeared.